Hello YouTube, how's it going? Alex702 Games here. I'm here in Las Vegas and I'm going to get an early screening of the movie Screamboat. If you haven't heard of it, it's a horror movie about Mickey Mouse on the steamboat and he's just going around killing people. I know this is supposed to be a gaming channel. Haven't been able to put any gaming videos out there, but I thought I'd record and put something on the channel. I don't really know if this is gonna go up there or not. If it is, you'll see it. If not, then this is just be lost footage. But yeah, I'm gonna go check it out, see how it is, and then get back. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to record in there because it is early screening. I don't think the movie comes out until April. So I'm gonna go in there, check it out. Hopefully it's good. See y'all later. Bye.
Directors of the Days of the Dead Film Festival, and this is a Days of the Dead event. And our illustrious leader, I saw him, where did he go? But Bill Philpott, thank you for getting all of this together. And now he's not even here to hear the applause. Oh yeah, you are. Okay. Hey. So we just want to thank you all for coming. This is pretty freaking amazing. We're gonna have some fun, but first, let's just have a little serious chat. We are very fortunate to be able to do these types of events and bring this type of cinema to the masses, and we want to keep doing these events, so please keep coming, and George has something to say.
Yes, keep supporting indie film, and this is so important, and in saying that, and I have to disclose, please don't have any of your phones out. We don't want this to be, these people put in all their blood, sweat, and tears, mortgages of houses into these films. They don't have a studio backing, so please make sure, do not record any of this. If a phone is out, especially you selfie guy, no selfies in here. No basketball scores. We're gonna have to end up having you come on out, escort you out. If you have an emergency call or text or something like that, please roll out because we can't see those phones out. It's just to make sure we keep the integrity of the film and we don't see it on some pirate site anywhere. We love these people that put this beautiful thing together, and we want to make sure that they can make money off their baby. So
and we can keep doing these type of events, and
exactly.
You know, we love it. I mean, this is what we do, and you know, just do right and do good by the people that are here, and you know.
Without further ado, let's introduce the writer-director,
Stephen Lamort.
Hey!
Woo!
How about one more round of applause for these guys in Days of the Dead in the festival? They're so awesome. They've been so supportive. Yes, as they said, my name is Stephen Lamorte. I am the writer and director of Screamboat, the film you guys are about to see today. Yes, thank you very much. We are so excited to have all of you here. You are helping us make Screamboat history. You are the first audience on the entirety of planet Earth that's going to get to see an early look at this film. So give yourselves a round of applause. You are like our first chance to see this thing up on its feet and get a sense of how it works, and if we need to tweak it a little bit before we bring it to theaters in April, that's going to be all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for being a part of Screamboat. Independent horror films do not happen without each and every one of you fans coming out and showing the big studios that little movies matter. So we appreciate you. We are so thankful for you. This is a comedy. Have fun with it, okay? Feel free to laugh and cheer and just have a good time here with us. We want to have a good time with you. Thank you very much for being here. Stay tuned after, and by stay tuned I mean stay seated, after, because we are going to have a Q&A. We have members of our cast here. We have David Howard Thornton, who plays... We have Jesse Coe, we have Jesse Bowden, we have Allison Giselle, somewhere in the audience. they're all going to be up here answering questions. We have the folks that helped us bring Willie to life. The creature designer, Christian Beckman, is here from Quantum Creations. So it's going to be great. Make sure you stay seated after. And on your way out, there is a step, and I've been told that if you fall, I'm personally responsible. So just, if you get up in the dark, just watch your step. And at the very end, again, just make sure stay seated for the Q&A. Without further ado, thank you all so much for being the very first audience in the world to enjoy Screamboat!
What I just saw, so awesome. It's like it's an ever-growing work in progress. So.
Not growing anymore.
This is it. All right. That's right. I am odds, aren't I? So.
You are odds. So we have a large Q&A, so we had to decide how to break it up. So we settled on evens and odds. So you get to go first.
All right. First of all, I got to ask Christian. Man, what a resume. Can you talk to us about putting together the creature, putting together Screamboat Willie, the design? Did you make the design, and exactly how much time you ended up putting into creating this?
Okay, well, first of all, the design goes to Christian Cordella for the design, the concept stuff. But at my studio, Quantum Creation Effects, we actually did build the puppet version, because we actually had a puppet version to try to make the actual scale and proportions. We had an actual hero puppet, rod puppet. We call it like a Boom Haku style puppet, where I can puppeteer from I'll have its feet attached to my feet with rods, so I can go around and I can actually walk it, and make it do some moves. But then I also have an insert puppet, more of a hand puppet for a lot of scenes. It just depends on what the scene called for. But yeah, we spent probably probably 2.5, 3 months maybe in full developing everything. We did have to film with the puppet stuff first. That was the first thing up. So it was kind of an interesting way of trying to develop, the puppet and its proportions, and then David's suit and makeup, because obviously he's 6'1", 6'2". The puppet's only 2.5 feet tall. So it was tricky, because I would like to develop the whole version of David first, and then back into the puppet. But I think we did it in reverse, because we had to film puppet first. So with that being said, we did a lot of tricks to try to work with the proportions. And what we do, first of all, we'll take the concept, we'll blow it up on a large format on paper, put it on the wall, and just take a look at it. We just take a look at the scales and take a look at how we can get the proportions, cheat the proportions with the smaller puppet. There's a lot to it. We did start with sculpting David's makeup on him, so we had the exact look of him on him and everything that we needed. Then I would scan it, 3D scan the actual makeup and the sculpt of the makeup. And so with this, then we were able to produce the head of the little Willie puppet and start, working with our proportions, working backwards, if that makes sense. But we also, we did a lot of makeup effects as well. Cody Wilkinson's here. Cody was like this right hand man for the whole thing. Amazing effects artist in general. But yeah, we did. We had a lot to do on this, and pretty quickly too. So, and with my company, we do a lot of especially costume type stuff, makeup effects overall. But it's just fun to get back to just the good old-fashioned horror, in camera horror, puppets, and just using all the stops, just trying to keep with the makeup and in the makeup world, and then also dealing with the puppets itself. It's a great place to be.
Jesse, where are you? There you are. Okay, so, oh, okay, JK, I'm sorry, JK. You're JK, I'm sorry, I should have specified. And it didn't help that you two were standing next to each other either, so that was.
Love affair over here.
So you seem to have a lot of fun playing Lieutenant Diaz. How did you hype yourself up for that full-throated battle cry to the passengers just before you lost your throat? Because you were hype as hell.
Is this on? Here we go. Well, that was a night. My God, that was a whole night. It is so cool to be here amongst all of you guys. We so appreciate you guys coming out, going from where we came from in the freezing and overheated boat that we shot this on, to then be in Vegas showing you this movie is pretty amazing. So we so appreciate you guys coming out and seeing this. It's just awesome. I just want to remind everybody here that this theater has some big fucking balls, all right? Hyping myself up for that was actually, when we were doing the audition scene, it was just kind of, I just wanted to try something different that I thought maybe other people wouldn't do, and so I just went full throttle, and Steve was like, I just want you to try it this way, just go all the way with this, and we went for it, and we just, literally, I think he told me, he was like, I want that speech to be my ringtone on my phone, and he called me, I think, like 3 weeks later, and that was it, and I was headed to New York, and I just was having a great time with everybody here.
That's awesome. Thank you for that one. George, you're up.
All right. Ms. Patel, it's your first film as a final girl. As far as getting your casting, you were in Stream with this crew, at least most of this crew. Casting decision, did you know ahead of time that you were going to be the final girl, or like when reading the script, or was this something you were approached with?
When I read the script, I figured out that I was the final girl. It was something, I've known these guys for a couple of years now, and it started with a project, I'm gonna say 3.5 years ago now, and we shot that in like Montauk, I think, and then I've been working on stuff with these guys ever since in different capacities, and it's been awesome. They're the most fun crew team I've ever worked with. It seems like their conversations are scripted because they're that funny to be around, and it was definitely something that felt like a kind of coming home, working with these guys and being the final girl for this piece. And Steve's great, the whole team, Amy is fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better experience.
And as far as with those experiences on the film, was there anything that kind of stuck out? Because there was some memorable moments, especially some heart-throbbing moments. Can you talk to us about those? and working with a tiny character.
Well, that was fun because he wasn't. It was often a mannequin sort of replacement, so it was sort of acting against that. But memorable for sure was dangling over the Staten Island ferry. That was harder than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like a Peter Pan, like, oh yeah, we're just gonna fling her around, and it was physically harder. And at the end of the day, or at the end of the take, they're like, okay, just pull yourself up. And I have no upper body strength, so that was really awkward to have 30 people looking at me like, what? That was really memorable.
And this guy didn't hook you up to a rope?
No, it was, but you actually have to still climb. I thought it would be a lot more of like, oh yeah, you just fire up with these ropes. It's much more of a, you're physically still trying to pull yourself up. So it was very memorable.
Michael Levy. Hi again.
How the hell is that so ominous? Like, Michael Levy.
Michael Levy.
Why are you here?
No, that is so not true. You know I always enjoy seeing you.
You know I love you.
And it's not that I'm going to give you an easy question because we have history, but it's because I really, truly want to know. Was there any lore, real lore, associated with the Staten Island ferry? And if so, can you give us one example? Maybe two. Let's see.
Well, you know, it's funny. So many people don't know this. Myself and Stephen Lamorte went to high school together, actually, and Stephen De La Sala. We went to Monsignor Farrell High School in Staten Island, New York, and myself and Stephen Lamorte had started in a TV studio at our high school called WFPN TV. And we started out as two Studio B anchors. And one of our first sketches together, or pieces together, was on that boat, the Staten Island Ferry. And we shot the piece. We were interviewing people at work, right? They're coming, commuters. And what happened was, in the edit suite, we're putting the pieces together, and we heard, "Help me." And this is, all right? Am I not wrong? Yeah, so we heard this "help me" thing, and we realized that boat is haunted. But it kind of became this kind of ongoing joke, and obviously Steven has had success with The Mean One, and we've had some success, obviously, with Terrifier and Stream. So we've always been trying to find a way to work together on something and collaborate, and we thought that Screamboat would be the perfect opportunity, especially both being from Staten Island and having that experience with commuting, Staten Island Ferry, the haunted Staten Island Ferry. So yeah, it kind of all came together that way, and the perfect project to do this comedy, horror, bring our loves together. And also, I just want to thank Days of the Dead as well. I don't know if we did that yet, so thank you, Days of the Dead. Thank you, George, Audrey, and Bill, wherever he is, and Rick, and the whole staff. But yeah, you know, it's a real family affair. As you see, there's a lot of people that are up here with us, that are here tonight in Vegas, and that also are not, that we work with constantly, all the time. I know Danny Roebuck, just want to give him a shout out. There he is. There he is. Yeah, hundreds of things we've worked together with at this point. So like, we really like working together all the time. It really is a family affair. I don't know if I answered your question, but you know, I tried.
Somewhat, yes. I think to help me, so that kind of, now I'm gonna jump over you, George, because I want to segue that into Stephen. Sure. So with that being said, the history there, it's probably haunted. How did that tie into some of the lore that you wanted to create around Steamboat Willie and kind of usher in your own version of kind of the classics that we know and make it super fucking dark?
No, that's all right. Keep it fun. Yeah, it's actually, you know, I've as Mike said, you know, we're both from Staten Island, so I've taken the Staten Island Ferry like 10,000 times in my life, and when I was, it's a smelly good time. But you know, a lot of what is in that script is based on, you know, real things I saw or maybe did, not murders obviously, but you know, so a lot of my thought process when I'm, you know, coming home from a late night of studying in New York City, obviously when I was a college student, is I would think of just how creepy the boat was, and you know, the late night the boat gets much smaller. They don't use the big giant commuter boats. They use these really tiny, creepy little boats, and you're never more than like 18 feet away from the craziest crazy person. So, and I always thought, like, once you're 10 minutes into the ride, you can't get off the boat, especially in January in New York City, you're not gonna swim, so you're kind of stuck here. It's like Murder on the Orient Express, if the train can't stop. So I was like, oh, you know, there's gotta be like a horror movie or something here. And then when I found out that Steamboat Willie was going into the public domain and that the Staten Island Ferry used to be a steamboat, I was like, oh, this is absolutely perfect. I can finally make my Staten Island Ferry horror film. And then just litter it with all the, you know, characters I've seen. And you know, Amy and I would go and we would drink beers on the ferry and just listen to people talking and write stuff down that they were doing, and all that informed the script. And you know, the lore of Steamboat Willie and sort of how he went from being his cute and cuddly self to the monster was something fun to develop. But the lore of the boat, having the boat feel like a character and be sort of a reflection of New York City, all these people from different walks of life and, you know, different races and economic status and all this stuff just piled and forced to work together and survive this crazy thing, was something I wanted to develop and make it feel like you get what it's like to ride the boat, and, you know, maybe keep an eye out for the murder mouse in the vents.
Has anyone in here ever rode any of the audience? Raise your hand if you've ever been on the Staten Island Ferry.
Nice. Great.
On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, is it haunted?
Yeah.
It's not that we didn't believe you, I just wanted to know what I'm out there.
Especially the one that we were on may or may not have belonged to a Saturday Night Live alum, and so it's an older boat. And so that one, we would go into the engine room and you would just hear sounds, and we were like, maybe don't film down there by yourself. Like maybe we go in pairs to that creepy bathroom.
Steve, just to touch upon your point, like we would shoot overnight, and everyone would leave, and there was one point where everyone's off the boat, I'm there kind of transferring the footage over into the hard drives, and I swear to God, and I'm not somebody who's usually frightened easily, we make horror movies, so you know, that's just, we do.
Sick people.
But I would turn the computers off really, you know, and then run out the boat, and then run down the stairs, and I wanted to get the hell out of there because it really is a creepy environment.
And that's just the production team.
Amy, as far as balancing out the responsibilities of being an actor, but then at the same time the producer duties, how were you able to do that on this film?
It was definitely challenging, for sure. My character played a lot of days, and then when the days that I wasn't playing Amber, I was there working. But we have a really great team. Martine Malul is here. She's one of our producers as well. She's not in the room, but she's here. And we had a great team of people, and just like the Fuzz guys, we brought our team that we work with a lot in Los Angeles to New York with us, so we sort of meshed families together, and I just felt really supported in that way. And I love producing, but my acting days were the best days, for sure.
And as far as, even though with this concept, the timing of this, you know, it was intentional, clearly. Once the character went into public domain, so when and how was that approached when you guys were deciding to make this film?
We knew, what, at least 8-9 months before he went into public domain that this was going to be our next thing. And having just done the Mean One, we have a good team of lawyers that we spoke with, and they really suggested we do nothing until he was actually in public domain. So we were, you know, thinking about it, not writing anything down, not preparing anything until that day when we announced it. But that is when we really started into pre-production, and then, I don't know, 7 or 8 months later, we started really locking it all in.
January 1st, 120-page script fell from the sky. just left, I guess.
But we didn't shoot anything until then from our lawyer's recommendation. We don't want to really battle the mouse.
Why are you looking at me?
What's
Is it
that?
your turn? Yeah, I think it's.
Well, then I'll go with David. All right, so David, you've played Art the Clown. You played the Mean One with the same team. And now, I was gonna say Steamboat Willie, but Christian came up with a really great one. It's Little Willie. Every single one of these characters is silent but deadly. So as far as with this one, and he's a small character and you're a big guy, and that size differential and camera tricks, walk us through some of those challenging days of making it look legitimate, you know, real, whenever you're supposed to be a small guy, and you know, maybe even some stuff that made you clearly laugh.
Oh boy. But I actually didn't get to film on set with everybody else. They filmed everything there on Staten Island, and about a month or so later, I had just moved out to Los Angeles, so we filmed on a soundstage in Los Angeles. So they did all the fun, fancy digital projection and everything. So that's why they filmed everything first, so they could show everything behind me and I could go off of whatever else had been doing. And so that was a lot of fun for me. I felt like I was doing a newer version of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in a lot of ways, because I was dealing with giant props and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. Giant penis. That was an interesting day. So yeah, but it was a lot of fun, because I've never gotten to do anything like that. That was definitely a new experience for me, to actually not be on set with my fellow actors and being able to play off of them and having to deal with things on a different scale. And it was, I would say also the suit was very warm. Because I think it was like July I was filming my stuff there, and yeah, I would go through about 4 or 5 cooling vests a day. I was a sweaty beast in that thing, and it took several hours to get to the makeup as well, but it was a lot of fun. I had a great makeup artist helping out with all that, Margaret Prentice, who has done a bajillion movies and TV shows.
Margaret's worked in the 80s, like RoboCop and Legend and, lots of things like that. So we were lucky
like
to
Hellboy.
get her, exactly.
Yeah, so that was fun for me, just hearing all of her stories. And I was like, 'cause it's the makeup artists that know everything. They know everything about the actors. They see it all. So that was fun for me. But it was a fun experience. I think we were all laughing a lot. We actually, Margaret and I, one of my favorite moments we had on set is good. We decided to play a joke on Steven, and so I was like, Marty, you gotta help me out on this. I got a good gag to pull, and she bought me a bunch of Raisinets. And Steven was giving me direction, and he scared me at one point. And I let the Raisinets drop down, so I pooped everywhere. Yeah, totally worth it. It was fun. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. I really only filmed for 4 days, and then I came in for ADR work, do all the whistles and everything, and that was actually a unique challenge for me too, because I am a voiceover guy, and I wasn't really doing voiceover work per se. I was whistling a bunch, and I didn't realize how hard it is to emote with whistling. It's really hard. But I had a lot of fun, and that's why I wanted to do this movie in the first place. Is like when Steven came to me with the idea, I was like, this is a fantastic, fun idea. It's because I'm a big, huge Disney nerd. I love Disney. I grew up on it, and Mickey is actually the first role I really played like a leading character. Back when I was in middle school, I played Mickey Mouse in Mickey's Christmas Carol, and that's I think the show that really started me on my path. Because that's where I realized how much fun I had just making people laugh in the audience, because we had things go wrong during the show. Like at one point, the Cratchit family table broke and shot this tiny chicken over the audience. It was like, oh, well, we got fast food tonight. And I just started improvising. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this feeling. I have people laughing with me, and I love this, and I want to do this. So when he came to me with this idea, it's like, it's just like it was with the Mean One. I had played Grinch before in the National Tour Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I was like, this is serendipitous again. I was like, it's Mickey. I gotta come back and do this. This is a character that started me on my path. I've got to do a fun version of him. So I really loved having the opportunity to tackle this character in a brand new way. Oh God! Now I gotta wet my whistle. I gotta see. Now you put me on the spot.
And after you answered the question.
Performance anxiety. Yeah, I know. Now I can't do it because I'm laughing. I know. Yeah. It's hard.
Okay, JP, and not JK. So I have to say, everybody needs a Pete in their life. Everybody needs a Pete. What I loved about your character is, even though, it's usually kind of the final girl has the really big arc, but I think the arc came with your character being so many phases of yourself in one film. Because you were kind of like, oh, I'm just a nonchalant guy and I help everybody and I'm sweet and I'm nice. And then it's, okay, shit's getting serious. And then it's, okay, I have to do something, but I still don't want to be captain, that's too much responsibility. So I really like the arc. So when you were preparing for that role, and kind of, nothing seemed forced in that. So how was doing a role like that for you?
A lot of fun, dude. I don't know. I kind of went into it like, just knowing that I was going to be this kind of carefree, silly dude who, at the end of it, kind of turns into a hero and has like a little bit of romance, but still just stays sweet about it. And I don't know, it was kind of easy. I mean, everybody here made it really easy for me. I don't know. I mean, I did a lot of like little background stuff for myself. I just wrote down a whole bunch of shit of like who I thought I was, my friends back home, who I lived with in Staten Island. I just kind of created this whole world for me that, you know, obviously doesn't show up here. I mean, it does in my performance, but it doesn't, like, you know, I'm not telling the world or telling the audience anything about what I did like homework on. But yeah, just doing that, just kind of like giving myself a little background. And then just knowing that we're kind of making like a real life cartoon, you know? So I would just do really silly shit. I remember tripping a lot, and I know a lot of those didn't make the cut, which, you know, whatever, dude.
Oh, there sounds like there's gonna be some things on the, on the Blu-ray that we may be able to see some of that. But no, so what the reason I asked that is because the next question was gonna be, were there any aspects of that role that you felt resembled you the most? Like, was it the hero? Was it the kind of laid back, chill guy that has a really sweet heart?
Probably the laid back, chill guy, who's always hoping to be a hero one day, you know? I'm hoping that I get my shot in real life to be a hero, but no, just like, yeah, I think the laid back, yeah, the tripping part is the part that resonates the most. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I just kind of went into it wanting to have a lot of fun, and I did. I don't know, but I love the arc. I love the whole thing about it. I got to the end of the script, and I saw that I was like saving this little kid from this mouse, and it like it broke my heart, dude. You know, like it made me cry at the end of it. And I thought, like, cool, this isn't just some like silly horror comedy. It's actually got like a good story. It's got a lot of heart. And I love that. I love the stuff I love to watch the most. It kind of revolves around that, around like real life people who like get their.
All right, so I am back from watching the movie Screamboat Willie. It is actually a pretty good movie. I would say out of 10, I would give it 7 out of 10. The director is a guy by the name of Stephen Lamorte. If you follow him, he's made recently The Mean One, which is evil Grinch movie that the actor David Howard Thornton plays in. And if you know David Howard Thornton, you know he plays Art the Clown in Terrifier by the director Damien Leone. So David Howard Thornton plays as the mean one, and Steve Lamorte's the Grinch. He plays as the Grinch, but they don't call him the Grinch because of copyright issues, so his name is the mean one. And in this movie, David Howard Thornton comes back as a new character, and he's playing essentially Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie. This is the character right here. And they also gave the people that went to the early screening some cards. Let me see. Here, the cards are right here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Some Steamboat Willie cards. Earlier, I actually didn't realize earlier, but I did the face reveal. For those of you who follow my channel and never see my face, this is what I look like. Hi. Thank you so much for 25 subscribers. I think my subscriber has been growing. Thank you so much. I'm still pretty new at this. I know this is supposed to be a gaming channel, but I haven't been able to figure out how to do all the editing and voice syncing and recording gameplay and doing all that stuff. I've been kind of struggling with that. So I figured I might as well upload something, because the last time I uploaded something was the Friday the 13th video. The game is shut down still, and it forever will be, unfortunately. Sucks. But yeah, the movie was pretty good. I am a horror fan. I stated that in my last video that I made with the Friday the 13th one. And yeah, I'm here right now in Las Vegas. I'm also going to be attending a convention here called Days of the Dead. They go around all states, but this time around is going to Vegas. I don't know if I'm going to be recording anything there. If I do record it, I'll upload it to YouTube. It probably is not going to be super like high-tech edited. This video is probably not going to be edited. I'm probably just going to post whatever it is, put it all into one video. I'm not gonna try to make it too long, because the movie was great, and afterwards the actors and the directors all came out and they did a little Q&A. I got some footage of the Q&A. We really weren't allowed to film in the movie because it is early. They let us watch the movie early, but the movie does release in April. I don't know what day in April, but they said the movie should be coming to all theaters in April. So I got an early screening. Me and a couple of people, it was like less than 100 people, were in there watching the movie. We gave it our reviews, and yeah, If you are interested in watching the movie, make sure to look out for it on April. It should be hitting all theaters. So yeah, I would recommend checking it out. The Mean One, I've seen The Mean One, and this one I think is 10 times better than The Mean One. The Mean One was kind of like, out of 10, I would have gave that one probably a 4.5 out of 10. But this movie it's up there. I actually like the story. I like seeing David Howard Thornton play as Steamboat Willie. Shows it right here. Terrifier 2 and The Mean One. David Howard Thornton. It's a great movie. You guys are, if anyone here is watching this and is interested in watching Screamboat, you're gonna love that movie. Trust me, it is so good. I can't say how good it was. It was way better than I expected. I didn't come into the movie with high hopes, but it surprised me. It was pretty good. It was way better than The Mean One, that's for sure. So if you go in expecting The Mean One style of like storyline and quality, you're not gonna get that. It's actually closer to like Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2 quality compared to the Mean One. It's pretty good. Check it out if you want to. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. I know it's not anything gaming related, but I figured I'd post something because I'm still struggling on how to record my gameplay and sync my voice into it, and I don't have like a face camera or anything like that, so I'm trying to work all that stuff out. So yeah, if you like it, good. If you don't like it, I apologize, but I wanted to post something. So yeah, that's just gonna wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care. Thank you so much for all the views and all the subscribers. I know it's not a lot, but it means a lot to me because I started this channel with 0 subscribers and I have 25 in like less than like 3 or 4 months of having this channel. So I'm very grateful and appreciative for anyone clicking on my videos and checking them out and subscribing. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.